to talk about the child who raised themselves. Now, this could be a firstborn. This could be a middle child. It doesn't matter at what rank of birth you are. You are that child who raised themselves. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. You raised yourself. Now, the reason I said I will not hold your hand for this video is because you will need it to hold a pack of tissues for yourself. You will literally need it to hold a pack of tissues. I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, it's a title. Now, growing up, you always had a very strong sense of responsibility. Not the normal one that you're a responsible child. No, you always had a strong sense of, I gotta do stuff. I need to be like this. I need to show up like this. I need to act like this. There was always a sense of needing to be. Yeah? Needing. A little louder for the ones in the back. Needing to be. Another one. Growing up, you always thought you were an empath. You always thought, oh, I just feel people's emotions so strongly. I'm so connected. I'm so intuitive. I can tap into people's emotions. I can sense when someone is sad. You always felt a sense of responsibility for other people's states of emotion. Responsible. Responsible for them. Yeah? Another one. Growing up, you always found yourself apologizing for things you were not supposed to be apologizing for at your age. Does that make sense? What I mean by this is you always found yourself in situations whereby things would go wrong in the house, things would be broken, things would happen, and the first person who was held accountable was you. Even as much as you were at an age whereby you also needed to find yourself. But it's like you were always held accountable. Where were you when this was happening? Why did they break their finger? Where were you? Why did they cut their toe? Where were you? Where were you? You were always being asked, where were you when this happened? Where were you? Hallelujah. From an early age, from a very, very early age, you always felt a sense of getting your shit together. Now, this would translate into you being a perfectionist. A perfectionist, in the sense that if things went wrong, you would lose your head. You became this A student, the perfection. You became the child who always got everything right. If you don't become position 1, you would lose your mind. I've talked about this in another previous video about me telling you guys that you're not chasing the bag, you're just traumatized. Go watch it. Yeah, because you need it. You became this child who always wanted to create peace in the house. You are the peacemaker. When ulikuwa arbitrator kwa hiyo nyumba, you never wanted to see people fighting, even if it meant it would come at the cost of your own emotional well-being. As a child who raised themselves, you have grown up having a very toxic sense of independence. You have become hyper-independent, especially if you're a lady. You have become so hyper-independent to the point that you feel guilty when people offer to help you. You feel guilty when people offer to help you. When someone wants to help you, you're like, no, I will do it myself. Don't help me, I will do it myself. This is because growing up, you learn to attach sense of self. I said I will not hold your hand because you need tissue. You learn to attach, let me use a different color chalk. You learn to attach your sense of self, your self-esteem to how much you could do. Yeah? How much you could do or achieve, yeah? Or achieve. People clapped for your performance. They never clapped for your imperfection. And you grow up internalizing that as what life is. Showing up, performing, being perfect, always helping people. When people needed you, you felt valuable. So you ended up becoming the therapist friend. Today you'll need issues. You ended up becoming the therapist of the group, yeah? even if it's a group of 3 friends or an entire gang of people, you are always the friend that everyone else came to for advice. Everyone else would call you when they needed someone to give them emotional support. Everyone else would come to you when they needed someone who was grounded and would give them good advice. And you always grown up being so proud, saying, oh, you know, even my friends say I give really good advice. Baby, you're not a good advisor. You're traumatized. Yeah. You're not a therapist friend. You're a traumatized individual. Yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? For the ones in the back. Mnasikia? Yeah. This translated into you being... This translated into you having very serious mental problems. Now, everyone out here has some level of mental problems. That's just what society is. But for you, these mental problems translate, like, they showed up as depression. Have I touched a nerve? Have I touched a nerve? They showed up as depression, volatile emotions. Now, what I mean by volatile emotions is everyone has mood swings. But this is not mood swings. This is you literally having no control over your emotions. Like at 8:30 a.m. you are happy and you're joyful. At 8:35 you hate everyone around you and you want to punch a wall. At 8:40 you are sad and everything is black. And at 8:55 you're the happiest individual in the world. Those are not mood swings. Those are volatile emotions. This is not a substitute for therapy. Do get professional therapy services. But at the end of the day, I will help you unpack the trauma you did not know you have. Yeah? Back to being the raised child, the child who raised themselves. This translated into you having a very deep sense of wanting to succeed. You became an overachiever, an A student. I talked about that in the past video. Go watch it. You became an overachiever. Once again, this is because you attached your sense of self to how much you could do, what you could accomplish. Growing up, people noticed you for your accomplishment. People noticed you for your achievements. People never noticed you for existing. People never just saw you in the back of the room and came and said hi. You had to be on that podium speaking. You had to be on that podium receiving a gift. You had to be somewhere doing something for somebody, being acknowledged by somebody, for everybody to notice you. And you thought that was you being a star student. You are not being a star student. You are being a traumatized child. Yes. Now that we've unpacked a bit of that, you being a child who raised themselves, now you're probably asking me, Tina Love, now what do you want me to do? Everything you said is true. What do you want me to do? First of all, I want you to clap for yourself. I want you to clap for yourself. Because you have been showing up for yourself every single day ever since the day you realized your life depends on you. You have shown up for your friends. You have shown up for your family. You have shown up for yourself. You have shown up for your dreams, even in days when no one else was showing up for you. And that is why I need you to clap for yourself. You have raised yourself ever since you grew up. Yes, they provided for you food and shelter and clothing and school fees. But when it came to emotional support and a back to lean on, you had no one but yourself. And that is why everyone else had you, but you had no one. Did that one sink in? Everyone else had you, but you had no one. So this was you. The child who raised themselves, this was you. Yeah? I'm drawing a skirt, but it could be a man. Who gives a fuck? Now this was you in your little bubble of existence. On this side, you had your parents, your siblings, your friends, your teachers. Like, these are the people who constituted the most of your life. Your people who are in your family life, your social life, your academic life, okay? So they're in box 1. And on this other side, you had your dreams. Your dreams, your goals, things you love to do, who you wanted to become, places you wanted to go to. Just this is everything you always wanted to be and to experience. They will go into box 2. Now, I'm going to trigger you when I say this. They took from you without you realizing. You see those statements of, you should. These people in this box 1, these people in box 1, from your various aspects of your life, you should show up for your siblings. You should perform well in school. You should be in control of yourself. You should sacrifice for the well-being of the world. You should be a source of inspiration. You should. Let me know. You should. So they told you you should do this, look like this, be like this. When you had no one to look up to. You had no one to look up to, but they expected you to be someone who was worth looking up to. So you had to figure out your own shit without a blueprint to follow. Goddamn. And on box 2, these are the things you wanted to do. So maybe you were a creative child. You loved singing, you loved drawing, you loved acting, you loved designing, you loved expressing yourself. But because for the most part of your life, everything you did surrounded box 1 people, you ended up neglecting box 2. Now you've grown up, you are this responsible adult in control of your life, you are rich. For some of you, you've even retired your parents. But every single time you sit down and you ask yourself, where's the joy, baby? Hakuna furaha ndani ya hii nyumba. Where is the joy? There is no joy. There's no happiness. There's no peace. You have a constant sense of emptiness inside you because what you should have invested in growing up, you are taught to neglect. And now that you've grown up and you're bitter and you're angry and you're frustrated and you have all this chronic rage within you, these people from box 1, they come and tell you, you need to work on your emotions. You are too volatile. What do you mean I'm too volatile? You people took. These people took. And now that you have nothing left, what you could have invested in that could have kept you sane up to this point, you no longer have it. Some of you have lost your talents. You can no longer draw like you used to draw when you were 14. Some of you no longer sing. Some of you no longer find passion in cooking. Some of you no longer find passion in designing things because you were put up against a formula to follow that ended up killing all your sense of creativity. And now that you're empty and you're blunt and you have nothing to do and you're angry and you feel rageful towards people, oh, now it's your fault. Oh, now it's my fault. I should be the responsible adult. When all the time I was growing up, you forced me to grow up. I did not survive. I did not grow up. I survived. This is why the child who raised themselves, you, are in constant survival mode. You are in constant survival mode, my friend. Yeah? You are in constant survival mode. Like your nervous system is so on edge. The slightest trigger and you lose your shit. That is why you can't seem to keep relationships with people. That is why you can't seem to be able to let people in, even as much as they've proven that they are willing to deal with your problems with you. This is why you constantly isolate yourself when shit is not happening, because you've never found solace in company. Woo, hallelujah. This is why you are trying so hard to figure yourself out, but you can't. Because when you are trying to figure yourself out, you are given things to figure out. And now that those things to figure out are gone, you have nothing left but an empty shell. Empty success. All those grades that you used just in the back, where are they? All those trophies you are told are going to give you what, where are they? All those acknowledgements and mentions, where are they? It's because you had to raise yourself. They took the little room you had to experience life as a child. And now that you're an adult, in the past you used to be a child in an adult body. You used to be an adult in a child body. It's no coincidence your friends used to tell you, oh, you give such good advice. You seem so mature for your age. You seem so in control even when things are not going right. Do you people know the trauma I carry? People used to give you these things. People used to tell you these things when you were like 14, 15, even 10 and 8. And you used to think it was a compliment. But now that you're awakened to the pain that you're in, you're like, God damn, I've been working with some real trauma here. You're in survival mode. I'm not going to give you a fix. There's no such thing as a fix. You can't fix years of pain and abandonment. You can't fix all that with a formula. But I can tell you this. Start doing for yourself what you've been doing for others. The same way you clap for people's goals, start clapping for your dreams, yeah? Clap for your dreams. The same way you always put everything down to show up for a friend, for a family member, for a cousin, start putting everything down to show up for yourself. Yeah? Show up for yourself. The same way you used to always try to find a way to make everyone else feel better about themselves. Start doing that for yourself. Start doing that for yourself, baby. Because let me tell you, ain't nobody gonna walk with this trauma with you. You gotta fix it on your own. That's just how life is. Yeah. So start finding reasons within you that show you are worthy. Affirm your worth. Don't wait for anyone else to affirm your worth for you. Affirm your worth for yourself. Yeah. Celine Dion. Another thing. Give yourself grace. You will not wake up and be healed. You will not wake up and learn to be dependent on people. No one should shame you for being over-dependent. No one should shame you for wanting to isolate yourself when you don't feel okay, because that isolation is all you've ever known. You've never found solace in company. You've found solace in isolation. No one should shame you for healing in your own way. If you have to ghost everyone for like a month to get your stuff together, do that. No, just give them a notice, but tell them, you know what? I'm not going to be available for the next month. I need to go work on some stuff. I need to be by myself. Hope you understand. If they're friends and they really get you, they will give you your space. You deserve space because you've given it to everyone else. Please give it to yourself. Yeah? Give it to yourself. So give yourself space, time, and grace. Space, time, and grace. Yeah. And as we finish, you are not lucky for being successful. No one should take ownership of your success. No one should come here and say, oh, you've gotten here because I did this. You're like this because I gave you this. You did what you could with what you had. And that is why you are where you are. No one has the right to take accountability for your success. No one needs to come into your life and tell you, oh, you know what, you need to be giving me a little bit of something, I sacrificed. No. You deserve all the love and the success that you have and want, and you deserve all the time in the world to fix whatever it is that was not okay within yourself. No one should tell you otherwise. And as we say when we finish these videos, F-U-C-K, society. See you in the next class.